Hello everybody, this is White Cotton Quilts again, and I'm Roxanne. So today I am going to share with you, as I promised, the step-by-step of how I'm making my Tula Pink Storm at Sea Quilt. So the first thing I've already done is I have already cut for the first block. So what I decided to do first, guys, just to make things easier on myself and to stay more organized, is I went through, and because I designed this on the EQ8 software, I'm able to print out every block in the quilt so I know color placement, which is going to be a huge help with this. So you can see here, there's the quilt that I'm designed and that I'm doing. I also went, and like I said, I printed the blocks out and the colorways that I need to do. So let me get this set up for you guys. So the first one is this one right here. It's the one in the center. You can see it right there. It's the one in the center. So I decided to change that a little bit. Instead of just doing a plain center yellow like I had originally planned, I decided to spice it up a bit. So what I decided to do is I got some Tula Pink ladybugs to go, because it's that pretty. I fussy cut the ladybugs in the blue and the green because I want to try to draw everybody's eyes to the blue and the green in the quilt. So here's the first round of the cutting done for the first block. And when I say first round, that's because this is a block and a economy block, but it's a block and a block and a block. So I did the first round, which is this here. And now I have to sew on this round here. So before I can do that though, I have to trim this. So I've got it sewn. You can see how pretty that's already looking. So I've got it sewn. So what we're gonna do is, per the instructions on Deb Tucker's, on her rulers, and per the instructions on this, we are going to get the, so it says I need ruler part A, so that's this. And it says I need to, because this is going to be an 8-inch finished block, so I need to do the 8-inch. So we're going to go across on here, and we're going to find the 8-inch right here. That's the lines I need to line up. And all I'm going to do, gotta move over just a little bit, guys. So on her ruler, this is the cool thing about her ruler. I don't know if you can see this. So the 8-inch block, you see how there's this little line right here, and there's one there, and you follow across, and there's one there. That is for the points here. So when you're lining it up, you line up on the points and then you trim, which just makes it so easy. So I'm gonna let that out. I'm gonna find my 8-inch, line up those little marks. And it's not gonna be exact, guys, but I am getting it, it's pretty close. I mean, it's close enough that I'm not gonna be nervous about sewing this. So we're just gonna trim these two sides. And my knife did not go all the way through that one. There we go. Okay. So I got those two sides cut. So now we're just gonna flip it 180 degrees. And then I'm gonna do, this time, I'm going to just line up the actual lines. And I'll show you those in a second. And then we're gonna cut off. So when I say that on the second time that we're just gonna line up the lines, you see we just got this line right here. That's what we're lining that edge on because we already trimmed, so we know it's straight. So we're just gonna line on that line and cut the other two edges off. And once again, my blade did not go through all the way. I think I need a new blade, guys. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do a different knife. Let me reline it up. And there we go. Alrighty. So now I've got the first round cut off and trimmed. Looking so good, guys. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go and sew the second round on. And you're just going to sew it on the same way as the first round, and I'm going to meet you guys over at the sewing machine. Okay, sorry about the glare. We're at my sewing machine. So I'm going to take my piece here, and I'm going to take the second round ones, and I'm just going to lay them on here. And they're going to overhang about 1/4 inch on either side. Deb Tucker does say in hers that she would prefer that you sew it this way. I don't like to do that. I like to be sure that I'm keeping this point. And the other thing you really got to remember, like I'm doing, you got to be very careful with your seam allowance. So that's why you're not going to see me zooming on this one, guys. There ain't going to be no zooming. Lay this one on there. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to press these open. I'll be right back. All right, so I got it pressed open. And now we're going to add these last two sides the same way. Only this time there's going to be just a smidge hanging off each side. There ain't going to be as much hanging off this side, and it's okay because we are going to trim this down, so you're not going to know that. Just like this. I always try to start in the start my thread on the fabric instead of starting it, and that's why my thread pulled out right there. Okay. Alrighty. So now I got those last two sides sewn on. Isn't that great? It's looking good already, guys. It's looking awesome. In fact, that's the way it's supposed to be in the block. It's looking great. So I'm going to go and I'm going to press these two sides that I just added, and then we're going to go back to the cutting board and trim it up, and then we'll be done with our first big square. Isn't that great? Okay, so we're back at the cutting table. Let me move this over just a smidge. All right. So we're back at the cutting table, and I've sewn on the second round. So what we're going to do is this time we are going to get the V tool. So this finished block is an 8-inch block, and so this is the technique sheet that goes with these. It's been a big help. So we're going to go over, we got the part B, and we need the 8-inch lines. So we need the 8.5-inch line here and the 8-inch X's. So we're going to lay this on top. The X's is where we once again are lining up those points. So we're going to line those up. Just perfect. Absolutely wonderful. And then we're going to cut around the first two sides. There we go. Just a little bit of waste. Now we're going to rotate, line up that solid line and the X's again. Still perfect. And we're going to cut off these last two sides. And we are done, y'all. Look at that. Oh, it turned out beautiful. So I'm so happy. I'm excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get this quilt done. So there's block 1 done. I can officially say that we have gotten the first one done. And I'm actually going to put it with the one that it goes on the sheet that I printed. And then I'm going to move on to the next block, which is the Diamond Rex. So that's going to be it for this video for the YouTube. Next week I'm going to cover making the Diamond Rex part, and then the final block is simply just a square, another square and a square, but it's smaller. So we're going to do this in like a 3-week kind of thing, and by then, hopefully guys, I should be close to, if not almost done with this quilt. You know, it may be longer. Life does get in the way sometimes, but I'm pretty sure I can have this accomplished in 3 weeks before the fair gets here, so that I can get it on the frame and I can show you guys how I'm planning on quilting this quilt, because it's going to be a big one to quilt, and you guys are going to see that up close and personal too. So thanks for joining me. If you like this content, please, please, please remember to do all the things, like, give me a comment, let me know what you liked, what you want to see more of. By all means, please share it with a friend, let them know about my channel. That helps me grow. Go check out my website or my Etsy shop if you want to get a hold of one of my patterns. I have 8 patterns now, guys, that are beginner friendly. I think 2 of them are like intermediate, but I'm pretty sure a beginner could accomplish them. They're gorgeous, guys. They'll turn out perfect. I swear. I promise. I promise they will. So check those out. Help me out. You know, send me a quilt. If you want me to quilt one of your quilts, I'd be more than happy to do that. Send me a quilt top. You can do that on the website too. You can get go through the get a quote thing, and I'll get a hold of you and I'll tell you about how much it's going to be, and you can send me your quilt top or top batting, however you want to do it, and I will get it done and get it back to you in no time at all. Okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me. Bye.